So depression is becoming more and more common, either due to technology, inflation, cost of living, or the ever-growing isolation trend. And yet, depression is still widely misunderstood. And when you care about someone, it can be despairing to see them fall apart over time. You push them to get help, but they just flat out refuse it. And it hurts to not be able to help the ones we care about the most. And that's why I made this video. As someone who was depressed for more than a decade and solved it, I'm gonna tell you what you can do to help a depressed person. If there's something that I learned with depression is that relationships aren't based on logic. People don't have a set system for interactions they have with each other. There isn't any kind of rules or balance to it. And for a depressed person, this is extremely difficult because they can't calculate the amount of energy required and they don't have as much to spare as you because they either live in a state of haze and confusion or this constant anxiety. They spend energy much faster than you and recover slower than you. Think of it like a game. Think in terms of energy trades and number of moves. Like when you say hi to someone, you expect a response back. And that's a normal reaction to expect. But remember, a depressed person doesn't have the same amount of energy you do. And when you do this, it feels like you are hijacking their energy supply by forcing them to be normal. Another example of this is when you complain about something. Whoever cares about you will pay attention and react, but that doesn't mean that the other person feels more energized. The opposite will. And what normal feels to you, it's a much longer journey when you are depressed. Getting out of bed, basic hygiene, dressing properly, saying hi, coming up with new conversation themes, looking interested to the other person, social anxiety, fear of being abandoned, etc. These are all things that cost a lot of energy but don't always give back. And that's why depressed people just seem to shut off. This is also why a lot of depressed people choose to isolate themselves. It's not that they hate you, it's self-preservation. And what you want to do with a depressed person is to interact with them in a way that is as low stakes as it can be. You can show them that you are there without exhausting them, like a meal or watching TV, private, away from the public eye and quiet. And this is also great for you because you learn to interact with people in a less transactional way, giving you the power to make relationships happen for you much easier. The biggest reason why people are so lonely nowadays is because everything is so high standards. A night out it's an $8 coffee with a $30 meal and $500 shoes, and this is a bottom-rate outing. Another important thing to understand is that depression is a learned behavior. Like you only learn to ignore your own feelings from the people around you. This isn't a normal response, this isn't a logical response. And I'm telling you this because you might be part of the problem. And that depressed person might be seeing your words as hypocrisy. Like you push them to go to therapy, but then pop a smoke every time you want to avoid thinking about something. It's like having an overweight person tell you about fitness tips. And the more you press on therapy, the more infuriating it is, the more ridiculous it sounds to a depressed person. And this is something they can recognize well in others, because they do it with themselves all the time. And I'm telling you this because with depression, you can't throw answers like a band-aid and call it a day. That's what religious people do, and most people hate it, because it makes them feel invisible. You can't force something to happen no matter how bad you feel, because that's not what a mentally healthy person does. That's not how you treat someone. And a depressed person is still a person. But here's what you can do. You can't give them the solution, but you can help them get closer to it. You can pull them into energetically profitable activities by doing it together with them. Like going on walks, sleeping on time. It's all on the book I wrote. Link below. Also, like and subscribe. You can't solve depression for them, but you can drive them into the right path. And that's one of the most important things that mentally ill people should have before therapy. Solid, consistent systems. Because when you go into therapy, you revisit years of resentment, trauma, twisted relationship. And if you don't have systems to get you back up, it's the same as throwing that person off a cliff. It pushes them to rely on fast fixes like addictions. And that's what you are doing when you tell them to get therapy. You are just throwing them at the dogs because there's no support systems at home. And you don't need to be that knowledgeable or fit to do this. Just be consistent. It means a lot more than you know. Like my father was the one who always cooked meals at home. And he was adamantly consistent every single day. And that's probably the only reason why I'm here today. At the time, it was my only reference of what consistency, solid, reliable meant. And that's what allowed me to build my systems that solve my depression. And the final part is, depression isn't a disease, so it's not curable. You can't cure depression. Depression is a result of a response to an old trauma. It's suffering, this pain that brands your body, mind, and emotions. and then live your entire life escaping that pain until the body just gives up on trying to live, because running away in fear isn't living. And when you see them fall apart, that's the healing part. Because the foundation needs to be pulled out in order to be rebuilt, because it was built on pain, fear, and anger. You can't stop it. You can only make it less harmful. But that's something that needs to happen. And what you can do is to be there to rebuild. And that's what it means to be there for someone. That's what that depressed person feels it's missing. Someone that accepts them for who they are. Because everyone is trying to fix them. So their depression isn't a problem, but an opportunity for you both. For them to relearn to live again in a way that's worth getting up for. And for you to learn to be a true friend. That's what I'm trying to do with this video, and that's what I hope more people learn to do. This one is free, just ask me for it through the link in bio.